What is up, YouTube? This is your boy, the original Renaissance man, Devon DaVinci, and I'm about to get into something that I haven't done in a long time, and that is movie reviews. So, yesterday, I should have done a movie review of the Avengers. I didn't really, get a chance to. I did see the movie. I did like it. There was a few dumb things in it. Star-Lord, you're a fucking idiot. At least for that one moment. I like the character. He just did a stupid thing. This review is going to be about Jurassic Park. You can see where my mind is stuck in. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So I want to go ahead and get into it. This review will have spoilers in it. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, skip this video. Watch it after you've watched the movie itself and then come back and listen to this, because I'm going to go through each part of the movie and give you my opinions about what happened. Also, before I get into it, if you guys want to see me do a playthrough of Jurassic World Evolution, just leave comments down below. I've already beaten the game. 5-starred all the islands except for Isla Nublar. I was thinking about doing a second playthrough just to show you guys like easier ways to get to 5 stars. I don't know how to do a speed run or anything, but I can give you some tips as to how to improve your park and how to manage it. So if, like I said, if you want to see it, make sure you leave some comments down below. Let's go ahead and get into the movie review. So for starters, my opinion about the overall movie, it is a fun movie. It's something that you'll enjoy watching, but at the same time, it has a lot of like really bad story, like plot points and things like that. I don't think I did a review of the first movie. If just in case I didn't, I'm going to let you guys know I was not really a fan of Jurassic World. I thought that the story aspects of it were extremely stupid. The whole idea of weaponizing dinosaurs, I think, is like one of the dumbest premises a person can come up with. In this movie, they try to use the example of like, well, people have been using horses and dogs and things like that in war for thousands of years. And it's like, yeah, but the purpose of those animals isn't like to be the idea of militarizing dinosaurs. Yeah, horses and dogs, they've been in battles before, but they're not like the primary units that you put in to like fight other people. They're usually just like assisting, like either ride on them or you like have them search for stuff like bombs or like people that have been trapped by collapsed buildings and things like that. Like they're there to search and look for stuff. Like you shouldn't, any force that wants to take a animal and use it as like an enemy not an enemy combatant, but an actual like unit, they're in for a bad time. So the whole idea of, oh, we're going to take raptors and like throw them in battles and stuff like that, yeah, that's a dumb idea, because what happened in this movie lets you know that raptors aren't really the best defense for bullets. So yeah, that's a thing. Starting off on the movie, the beginning of the movie, it starts off with this search crew. They're in the mosasaur paddock. I guess they're originally not supposed to know that. They're looking, well, I guess you do. They're looking for the Indominus Rex like DNA. So they're on the bottom of the mosasaur paddock trying to find the bones of Indominus Rex, which I don't think you should find, because the last movie made it pretty clear that the only piece of DNA you're going to be finding with Indominus Rex is going to be sprinkled in a lot of mosasaur DNA, if you know what I mean. I don't think that it should have had a perfectly pristine skeleton on the bottom of the mosasaur paddock. It should have, like, if anything, it should have just been a bunch of crushed bone. I don't know how the hell it was just a pure skeleton. But anyway, they get the skeleton or they get a piece of rib from the Indominus Rex, which I thought they were trying to do a call out to like Adam and Eve, but that could be wrong. I could be looking too deep into it. So they get the DNA, and then like there's a lot of really good camera work for the next part where the mosasaur's like stalking the little submarine that's down there to get the DNA. I like the way that was shot. That was real good. And the T-Rex also, the T-Rex coming up after that was very good. The guy the T-Rex was chasing after reminded me a lot of the person at the docks on the first movie. Like when Dodson says, we have to go. Like he reminded me a lot of that guy. There's a lot of callbacks to the old Jurassic Park movies in this movie. Like, so many, in fact, that it gets uncomfortable. Like, this movie is to Lost World and the original Jurassic Park what The Force Awakens was to A New Hope. Like, there was so many callbacks that it gets to the point where it's like, okay, but where's your movie at? You know? The next part of the scenes, I believe that they're talking about the volcano getting ready to erupt, and they have Ian Malcolm, played by Jeff Goldblum. He's in front of, I guess, Congress or something. I don't know if it was Congress or what, but he's pretty much explaining to him that, like, we shouldn't interfere because dinosaurs were a man-made creation, and the volcano is kind of like nature's way of correcting that mistake. Like, they're like, we shouldn't have made them to begin with, so nature's putting it on itself to, like, get rid of the dinosaurs. So, I mean, it's ironic because in Lost World he was there to save the dinosaurs, even though he was, like, kind of pushed into it. But I think the difference is, in Lost World, he was trying to save the dinosaurs by, you know, making sure that they stay on that one island. Like, that was it. He didn't want it to, you know, become anything different than that. Just stay on that one island. So after that, we find out that Claire, played by Dallas Bryce Howard, she is looking to try to get the dinosaurs off the island. She is, like, talking to Congress members and things like that to try to see if they can help in some way to get the dinosaurs off the island. Congress doesn't end up going with her. Like, they ended up saying that the dinosaurs need to stay on the island so that they can, like, they can't interfere with the volcano and the dinosaurs, what they want to say. So she ends up getting a call from, like, this rich, they end up saying he's a old partner of John Hammond, like one of the, like, him and John Hammond were the two people that created, like, the first dinosaurs. Like, they started the whole venture together. So she gets a call from a representative of that guy. So she goes to visit him, and he says that he wants to save the dinosaurs and help get them off the island. And so she ends up getting in touch with, like, his representative, which is also, like, the bad guy of the movie. He's very much like the dude from Lost World. I'm sitting here playing with this. He's very much like the dude from Lost World. The villains in Jurassic Park movies are dumb. Let's get that out of the way. Most of the people that are really, like the real villains are really stupid. That goes all the way back to Dennis Nedry. That goes to the guy from the second movie. The third movie didn't really have a bad guy, I don't think. And Jurassic World had a stupid ass bad guy in that whole military guy. So they get into the mansion of the guy. He's telling them he wants to save the dinosaurs, but they need Blue. That he makes it really important that we need Blue. So we think we know somebody that can help you. Obviously, it's Owen Grady. Why is the actor's name slipping my head now? Oh my God, I cannot believe it will come. I swear it will come at me while I'm doing this review. I don't know why his name slipped my mind. Yeah, so she pretty much tries to go and talk to him and try to see if he will end up helping. He says that he doesn't want to help. And she's like, well, you know that Blue is going to end up dying from this volcano. He's like, okay. Okay, that's past me now. So she ends up leaving and saying, like, oh, well, you have a ticket for the plane in case you do want to change your mind. So he gets into this sentimental mode. He starts watching, like, old clips of him training Blue and when she was a baby and things like that, and all the other raptors, Elka, Charlie, Delta, and them. And it's established in this moment, because they didn't establish it in the last movie. They established it in this movie that Blue is unique because Blue has emotions that most animals don't have, like, or at least not to a big extent. Blue has empathy and sympathy and, you know, things like that makes her sympathetic towards people, and thus making her, like, more understanding than the average dinosaur. Like, he does an example where he, like, shows, oh, well, if I show weakness in front of the other raptors, they immediately, like, try to attack. Like, they get into the whole raptor stance and jump at him. But with Blue, like, when he shows, like, submission, Blue will like come up to him and like start trying to cheer him up and like, you know, like reassuring him and trying to like make him happier. So that didn't work out in the last movie. Okay, the last movie, Blue was there, like, is when he was inside that raptor cage and trying to protect that worker. Blue was just as aggressive as the other dinosaurs. So like you turn your back on Blue. Blue was just as likely to attack you as the other raptors, but they changed that in this movie for some reason. So he ends up changing his mind. He gets on the plane and they go to the island where the dinosaurs are. And there's an envoy that comes with them, or a convoy or whatever, that comes with them. And it's this stereotypical grizzled military veteran. And, you know, when the trailers were first shown, this is the guy that like is sitting against the cage and the Indoraptors like right in front of him. Like, he comes off as much more of a single-minded character. He's not like he's not as complex as the other bounty hunters or game hunters as the other movies. Like, he's not Robert Muldoon. He's not Roland Timbo. Like, those characters have way more depth than this guy. This guy is strictly like the stereotypical military bad guy. So that's a bad thing in and of itself. He is there to help them, you know, like, he's pretty much the security for them while they try to go and rescue dinosaurs. They need Claire because she has access to the tracking devices for the dinosaurs. Like, they need to go to a certain computer and they need her handprint and stuff and the codes to like identify where the dinosaurs on the island are so they can find them. But the whole time, the understory is that they just want Blue. They don't care about the other dinosaurs. All they care about is Blue. And, well, maybe a few dinosaurs, because that goes into later on in the movie. But they end up getting double-crossed very fast. As soon as they find Blue, they end up double-crossing them. One of the hunters ends up getting attacked by Blue, and the guy shoots Blue. So raptors aren't good in military situations because all it took was one bullet in the leg, and Blue is like hemorrhaging and shaking, and like its defense isn't very good against bullets. Let's put it that way. So the next part of the movie is them transporting the dinosaur. Well, let me not skip the volcano part. The volcano is about to erupt. That it does end up erupting. The dinosaurs are running from them. Claire's character and this new character, or there's two new characters. There's this nerdy computer guy that is like, you know, the average. He's like Shaggy. He's like Shaggy if Shaggy knew how to program computers. And they have like kind of like she's a little bit of a stereotype, like the social justice warrior type. They always say like the feminist. She's not an extreme feminist, but she's definitely one of those like, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. You need to worry about yourself and stuff like that, which is ironic considering she spends most of the movie as a hostage. So, I mean, so much for that. The guy, the new male character, Shaggy. I'm gonna call him Shaggy from now on. So Shaggy and Claire, they're in the chamber where the computer for tracking the dinosaurs are, and they get locked in by the military people. The whole time, lava is like starting to slowly flow down the mountain, and they're stuck inside this area. There's the big giant hole, and the dinosaur, the baryonyx, is coming through the hole. There's this good scene about the baryonyx chasing them inside that room. It's very like claustrophobic, and it's kind of like it has your nerves up, and you're very like anticipating on what's going to happen. They do end up getting out, obviously, but it was shot well. A lot of scenes in this movie are shot well. Like, when it comes to the dinosaurs themselves, like especially the reveals and stuff, they're very good at like building suspense and using creative ways of showing the dinosaurs. So after this is when they have the big scene where the dinosaurs are like running from the mountain and the ash is coming down, and Owen is like running, trying to outrun the ash and things like that. Everybody's running, and they end up finding the gyrosphere. There's this really cheesy like called back to the Gallimimus scene on Jurassic Park 1 where they're like hiding behind the gyrosphere and there's these like big logs and the dinosaurs are running through and over the logs and stuff like that. And like that was just another callback. They end up getting bumped into by a Carnotaurus. So he ends up like stalking them around the gyrosphere, and then eventually the T-Rex comes in and, you know, rescues the humans from the Carnotaurus. Which, if you watch this movie, you'll see that T-Rex is a bully to the Carnotaurus. Like, there's a bunch of scenes where the T-Rex just fucks with the Carnotaurus just for the sake of fucking with him. Even in this scene where the T-Rex like bites him and knocks him down, he doesn't like. I don't think he kills him. Because there's a Carnotaurus later on in the movie. I don't know if it's the same one. But he just like bites him, pins him down, and then just walks off. Like, he don't care about the humans. He don't care about anything else. He just like, hey, stop playing. Calm down. And he just walks off. Or she walks off. So Rexy ain't having no time for no bullying dinosaurs. So the military people end up getting a few dinosaurs, putting them on a boat, and like they're escaping. There's this good scene where the Claire and Owen and everybody's trying to get onto the boat, so they're like outrunning the like they're trying to race against time, pretty much like trying to catch the boat before it leaves the dock. And they jump into this Jeep, and there's this like jump, and then after they get on the boat, there's this like really sad scene with a Brachiosaurus, and it's like trying to run down a pier, but they're already way too far away from it, so it can't like get on the boat or anything. And like it has the lava coming behind it, and it's like trying to, I don't know what exactly it's trying to do because I'm pretty sure it can't swim. It's just like trying to get away from the lava, I guess, and it's on the pier. And there's a shot where like the ash and stuff from the lava ends up engulfing the Brachiosaurus, but like because the lava on the ground is like the light from the lava is like shining onto the smoke, so you can see like this big shadow of like the Brachiosaurus like trying to get away from the lava, and it's pretty sad. like all you see is like this smoke, and like just like if you ever seen a Michael Jackson concert where he does like the Smooth Criminal, where like the sheet comes down and you just see his shadow, and it's like doop 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 doop. That's pretty much what the Brachiosaurus is doing, except it was dying, I guess, instead of dancing. And so they get on the boat, and the whole time the military people had the I don't want to keep calling her feminist chick. I don't know. She reminded me of a Life is Strange character. I'm just going to call her the empowered female. That's what I'm going to call her. Empowered female, because that's what she wants you to know about her. So, the empowered female, she is like held hostage by the military. The whole time, the military, like, they captured her because after Blue got shot, she tells them, like, okay, well, you need me alive because they're about to kill everybody. Like, well, you need me alive because I'm the only one that can save Blue's life, because right now Blue is hemorrhaging, and what are you going to do? You need me to help get her back to life. So the whole time she's, like, trying to help Blue stabilize, because Blue is, like, hemorrhaging and losing blood fast and I guess in shock and things like that. So Owen and them get on the boat, and they finally meet up with her again. She tells them that they need blood because Blue's losing so much blood, she needs a blood transfusion. So they need blood from a dinosaur that's similar to Blue. So they need blood from a dinosaur that has at least like 3 fingers or something, like I guess some type of evolutionary thing. Like you can only go so far back in the evolutionary tree. And so their idea is, okay, we're going to get blood from the T-Rex. This is where the scene in the trailer where they're inside of the what is it called? It's the trailer with the T-Rex, the sleeping T-Rex. This is where this scene comes from. So they need to try to get blood from the T-Rex. Obviously, you guys know the T-Rex end up waking up halfway through. The weird part of that scene is the T-Rex wakes up because when they get into the trailer, the door for the trailer is like slightly cracked open, and one of the security guards walks by, notices that the trailer is open, so he closes it, and that's enough noise to make the T-Rex wake up. But when the T-Rex wakes up, it starts stomping and kicking the trailer and roaring and stuff like that. And none of the security guards think to go and check on it. like they're sitting there inside that trailer, like trying to dodge the T-Rex while it's biting and stuff like that. Nobody goes and looks back like, what's all that noise coming from? What? Like, they get out of the trailer and just leave, and there's no security guards nearby, even though there was somebody that just closed the door. So they end up getting blood to blue. After this is where the movie really takes a down, like it really goes down in quality, because they take all the dinosaurs to Lockwood Mansion. Lockwood is the guy that is the partner to John Hammond on the behest of the guy representing him, the stereotypical capitalist dude that only sees money. So they take all the dinosaurs to his house, which I don't know why they couldn't have got a storefront or some type of, or rented out some place to put the dinosaurs. Why the hell would you take it to your house? But I mean, they took the dinosaurs to the house. They were setting up some type of auction. The auction prices for the dinosaurs were extremely low. Like, some dinosaurs sold for like $10 million. I'm pretty sure if dinosaurs were real, they would sell for way more than $10 million. But, you know, whatever. So there's a little girl in the movie. She is the granddaughter of Lockwood, this old man. He says that he had a falling out with John Hammond. There's a reason for that. They mention it later on in the movie. They don't get too deep into it, but they mention it later on in the movie. So while they're at the mansion and they're setting up for the auction, the capitalist guy, he has a connection with John. I said John. I was about to say John Woo. Holy shit. Henry Wu. He gets this connection with Henry Wu where he wants to develop a stronger militarized dinosaur than the Indominus Rex. So they take blood from, or take DNA from the bone they got from Indominus Rex, and they take some DNA from Blue, and they mix it up to make this hybrid dinosaur, the Indoraptor. First of all, I don't like the designs for the hybrid dinosaurs at all. Like, they don't come off as dinosaurs to me. They come off as monsters. Like, if you take the Indoraptor and put it in any other movie, whether it's Aliens or whatever else, you can easily pass that dinosaur off as an alien. Or you can pass it off as, like, a mutant. You can pass it off as anything. Dinosaur isn't one of them. It doesn't look like a dinosaur. It looks like something that you would see in a horror movie in the 80s. I hate the design of it. I hate the design of the Indominus Rex. I was never a fan of him. Henry Wu, he wants to raise this dinosaur with Blue. So the thing he likes about Blue is a dinosaur that has empathy and all these other advanced, like, emotions and things. So he wants to raise the Indoraptor with Blue, so the Indoraptor can pick up some of those qualities. Like, it wants it to have empathy and things like that. But the capitalist guy, he's so, like, hell bent on making a profit now. It's like, oh, well, no, we have to sell the dinosaur now. We have, even though it's a prototype, we have to sell it now, which don't make any damn sense, because, like, at first they're saying it's a prototype, so it's not for sale. But then as soon as the bidders start, well, I'll pay $25 million, I'll pay $28 million, I'll pay $30 million. Then they're like, okay, well, just go ahead and sell it. Why the hell would you sell a prototype? Like, I'm pretty sure that if Steve Jobs had shown off the prototype for the iPhone early on, I guarantee there are people that would have paid way more than $30 million for the rights to that prototype. But you don't sell that. Like, you don't do it. Why the hell are you trying to sell the prototype for a dinosaur when you know it's not ready? Like, the whole point of the movie is you're trying to establish that the Indoraptor is smart and it's advanced and you can use it more and things like that. But you also admit that it doesn't have a lot of the things that y'all are looking for yet in a militarized dinosaur. Like, it don't have the sympathy and follow orders easy and things like that. So why are you selling it? like it's just a killing machine at this point. So what was the point of even making it if you were just going to sell a killing machine? You could have sold a T-Rex or a Raptor or something. Why create this dinosaur when it isn't as advanced? And let's not get around the fact that it's not even more advanced than the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex was more of a formidable dinosaur than this one is. The Indominus Rex was able to camouflage, and it had, like, heat detection and things like that. This dinosaur might possibly have that, but they never established that in this movie. Never once does it have camouflage. Never once do they show that it uses like heat vision. As a matter of fact, it shows a lot that actually counteracts that. Like, they talk about how good it is at tracking and things like that, but then there's a scene in the museum of the mansion, and like it's literally like there's a pillar, and they're on the other side of the pillar, and then the Indoraptor's on the other side of it, and it's trying to track them, and they're like going around in circles. like they're on one side of like this little like stand that has like a skeleton of a triceratops head on top of it, but they're like hiding behind it, and the Indominus or the Indoraptor's on the other side of it trying to get to them, and they're just like going around in circles. Like, how is this thing so advanced when it can't even catch a person on the other side of the wall? Like, come on now. So the dinosaur isn't good. It's not advanced. It's not anything. It's smaller. It's weaker. It's less. It tracks not. It don't track as well. It doesn't have as good features. Like, this is just a disappointing dinosaur. And so it gets to a point where they had to escape from a cage because they got caught on the boat. They got thrown in like this jail thing, and I don't know why they would put them in the same jail as with the other, like in the same cage like with the other dinosaurs and stuff, because on the other side of the wall, like the cell they were in, was a sticky moloch. It's like a small pachycephalosaurus. So they egg the thing on to like break through the wall so they can like, so it can come into their cage, and then they can trick it to hitting the door of their cage to like bust it open, which they end up doing. So Sticky Moloch is like the MVP of this movie. He goes into the auction room where everybody is betting on the dinosaurs and proceeds to whoop the most ass I have ever seen a dinosaur whoop in Jurassic World or Jurassic Park history. He is whooping so much ass. He's like Bruce Lee in the Chinese Connection, in the scene where he's in the classroom with all the other fighters and stuff, and they make a circle and he just starts whooping ass. That's pretty much what Sticky Moloch does. You look into the crowd and you just see people flying all over the place like this is that movie Kung Fu Hustle. Like, he just starts whooping ass and everybody just gets flung all over the place. And so he ends up taking out just about everybody. The auction's over, everybody's leaving, and then it gets to the part where the guy from the beginning of the movie, the military person, he comes in and he sees the Indoraptor inside of its cage. After he like shoots a couple tranquilizers in it, he goes into its cage. He doesn't even know how many tranquilizers like it takes to put this thing down. He just assumes. He shoots it twice. I guess these are supposed to be powerful tranquilizers, but still, you don't know that. So the dinosaur comes down, like passes out or pretends to pass out, and he goes into the cage because he wants to collect a tooth. Because I guess he collects dinosaur teeth so he can make some stupid necklace. It's stupid, okay? It's dumb. He tries to get the teeth from the raptor. The teeth aren't coming out. So while he's doing that, the raptor is playing with him. So the raptor will like move his tail behind him. So he'll turn around and look at the tail, and then the raptor will like wink at the screen while he's looking at the tail, just to let you know I'm not asleep. So he gets close to the thing's mouth again, and it does it again. And when he turns around and look at the tail, the raptor bites him on the arm and bites his arm off. And then he crawls against the side of the cage, and this is where you get the scene where the raptor's like right in front of him, about to chomp his ass up. So he gets chomped. That happens. I mean, it should have been expected. And the raptor gets out because he left the cage open. Again, smart idea. Genius. So the raptor gets out. It starts going around the mansion, you know, raising hell, open up cans of whoop ass. They need to give this raptor the Stone Cold entrance music, because that's pretty much what it does. It comes in, raise hell, and leave. The little girl that was the granddaughter of Lockwood, I was about to say Lockheed. It's pretty much Lockheed Martin at this point. I mean, she's the granddaughter of Lockwood. She ends up getting in contact with Owen and Claire, and you know, at some point during like the whole escaping dinosaur scenes, they find out that she's a clone. So I guess because I mean the person that was partners with John Hammond, his daughter died in a car accident, I think they said. And the supposed reason they fell out is because he cloned his daughter to make this little girl. And the only hint that we have that she may be a clone is early on she asks her granddad, "Do I look like my mom?" Which is weird for a daughter to say anyway. Like, do I look? It's one thing like if I'm like her or anything like that, but just to specifically ask, "Do I look like my mom?" is, I guess, their way of foreshadowing this. But it's stupid. So that's the only hint we have the entire time of like wondering whether or not she's a clone. Nobody, I'd be surprised if anybody went to that movie and saw that scene and was like, "Oh, well, is this girl a clone?" It's weird. And so they find out she's a clone. They never do anything really about it at all again for the rest of the movie. Like that's really the only thing that like there's no type of connection between her and the dinosaurs. There's a little scene at the very end of the movie that is dumb also, but they try to use it to make an argument for why like this connection between them, the girl and the dinosaurs, it's not good. So the Indoraptor is going around raising hell, trying to kill the main guys. It ends up on a scene where they're on top of the mansion and there's like this glass roof, and the raptor is like trying to slowly stalk up to Owen and the little girl, because Claire, she was kind of like supposedly put out of commission in the museum scene where he was doing a chasing around the pillar thing, because there's a scene where they're inside of one of the exhibits and there's like all this wood and everything, and the raptor tries to get at him. The wood is stopping the raptor from like fully getting at him, but I guess one of the like sickle claws of the raptor like gets sunk inside of Claire's leg, so she's supposedly put out of commission, like you don't really see her for a portion of the movie. And she ends up coming back later on that roof scene, and she has this gun. This gun is like a device that they use to control the Indoraptor. So it like the only thing that this thing has that's militarized is this gun points out a laser, and whatever you point the laser at, you push a button and it makes this like sonic sound, and the raptor like locks in on the sound and attacks whatever the laser is pointing at. That's the advanced aspects of this dinosaur. That's the most advanced it gets. So she points it at Owen, who's at the edge of the roof at this point, and she pushes it because she wants the raptor to, jump at him so he can move out of the way, and the raptor ends up. I thought they were trying to make it fall off the roof. That's what I thought they were going to try to do. But what they really want to do is they want to try to knock it off the roof. Or not knock it off the roof, but knock it through the roof. So they do that. The raptor jumps at him. He moves out of the way. The raptor, like, halfway gets knocked through the roof. It's hanging off the roof, but it somehow manages to climb back up. This is when Blue comes in and becomes, like, a superhero, because Blue jumps in at the right time, jumps and attacks the Indoraptor. The Indoraptor sucks at fighting, too, because Blue whoops this thing's ass. Blue whoops this dinosaur's ass, like, because there's two parts where they fight at, and both times Blue wins pretty convincingly. As a matter of fact, the whole reason they're on the roof is because Blue whooped that dinosaur's ass so bad in the little girl's room that Blue knocked it out of the window, and the raptor's like just on the ground, and it's like, all right, well, fuck it, I guess I lost that. I'm gonna go after these guys who are climbing up the roof. So it ends up going up on the roof. That's how they end up there. So there's a scene where the Blue jumps and attacks the raptor. It gets knocked through the roof, and I thought they were going to kill both of them off because they're right on top of the skull of the Triceratops that they were running around earlier. The Indoraptor ends up getting impaled on the horns of the Triceratops, and Blue is like right in the middle standing on it. And this is like the most obvious callback to the ending of the original Jurassic Park, where Blue like starts roaring, or at least as much of a roar as a raptor can do, on top of the carcass of the Indoraptor. Like, it was so cheesy, you would almost expect to see when dinosaurs ruled the earth come like floating down in front of it. And so the Indoraptor's dead, and when Blue managed to escape from her enclosure earlier on in the movie, there is like this smoke. There's this smoke that's filling up the area where the dinosaurs are in their cages. So there's like this ethical dilemma of whether or not they should let the dinosaurs out or if they should let them die. They end up letting them out of their cages, but then there's like this big door, and the big door leads outside. So the question is, should we let the dinosaurs escape into the world, or should we let them die right here in this room? So Claire is like fighting the urge to push the button to open the door. Owen is telling her like, hey, if you push that button, there's no going back. So she's thinking about it, and eventually she ends up closing the little glass container on the button, and she's like, no, I'm not going to push it. So they're watching as the dinosaurs are starting to die off, or starting to like look like they're about to die. And then the little girl runs up and pushes the button. And the whole idea of her pushing the button is, she says, well, the dinosaurs are alive like me. So I guess that's her only connection, that they're trying to make a connection to the dinosaur. Well, guess what? You just let the dinosaurs out into the world. So yeah, they're alive like you, but there's going to be a lot of people that aren't alive like you because your dumbass decided to release dinosaurs into a goddamn city. And this isn't like Lost World. Oh, well, there's one T-Rex running around, running amok. No, now there's a T-Rex. There's a raptor. There's all kinds of plant-eating dinosaurs, herbivores. They got Triceratops, Parasaurolophus. They have Ankylosaurus. They got Stygimolochs. They got Baryonyx. It got released. The Carnotaurus got released. The juvenile Allosaurus got released. Like 11 dinosaurs got released into the wild just now. They all run out into the woods, and at this point, they're the auctioneers are all gone. The capitalist greedy dude, he is trying to get into this SUV, and he has the sample of the Indominus Rex bone. He's trying to get into the car, but then before he gets into the car, all the dinosaurs like start running past him, so he like has to hurry up and try to hide. He chooses to hide underneath the car for some reason. Not sure why, because the dinosaurs have no problem with stepping on the car. So he's lucky he doesn't die right there. So the dinosaurs end up running past him, destroying the car. And as soon as he steps out, because the car is out of commission, as soon as he steps out, T-Rex chomps his ass and steps on the Indominus Rex bone, so it's gone. I don't know why they're acting like this is it, because the Indominus Rex's body is still at the bottom of that lake. Anybody can still go there and get a piece of another bone. So them acting like this is the end of the Indominus Rex is stupid. Even though I know the next movie isn't going to have hybrids, this is still dumb. What else happens? Man, because like I said, it was dumb. This also is a part where T-Rex bullies the Carnotaurus again, because when T-Rex is chomping on the Indominus Rex body, or not Indominus Rex, when T-Rex is chomping on the capitalist guy's body, the Indominus Rex, or the Carnotaurus comes up and like gets a piece of his leg. Like there's a piece of his leg, he grabs it. The T-Rex fucking headbutts him, knocks the leg out of his mouth, and just lets it sit on the ground and forces the Carnotaurus to get away. The T-Rex didn't even want the leg. It just didn't want him to have it. That was messed up. The T-Rex was just bullying him. Like, the T-Rex needs to like go to a Be a Star camp program, because it's fucked up. And so then this is when they have the scene where all the dinosaurs are like out in different parts of the world, where you see the Mosasaurus with the surfers, and he's about to chomp on the surfers. They have the part where the T-Rex, where he's like roaring like with a lion. So they're like battling banjos or something, but with roars. You have a scene where Ian Malcolm is still in front of Congress. I'm not sure if they called him back or if this is just like he just been sitting there the whole time. But so he's sitting there and he's talking about how he's been telling people for years that like this is what happens when you do stuff that you have no business doing. Like y'all tried to play God, and now we have to live with the consequences of that because now dinosaurs are in the wild, and now we have to coexist with them. Otherwise, we're going to end up coming extinct. And then he has this cheesy line of "Welcome to Jurassic World," so Jurassic World, and like it was funny because to me when I was watching that scene, I was just thinking, are we playing like? It wasn't like there was pairs of dinosaurs that jumped into the wild like this was Noah's Ark. There was one of each species, and there's only 11 of them. If this happened in real life, the military would have just come in, killed all the dinosaurs, and that would have been the end of it. Like they act like 11 dinosaurs are enough to take over the world. We have nukes now. We have machine guns. We have all kinds of guns that these dinosaurs would easily get killed by. So let's get that out of the way. There is no Jurassic World. But if that's how y'all want to play it, cool. I'll suspend my disbelief and pretend like, okay, y'all are going to pretend like this world is now dinosaurs and humans coexisting. So again, this movie has a lot of points in it that don't make sense. They don't go deep into the little girl being a clone. They only mention it. And Henry Wu doesn't have as much of a presence in this movie as I thought he was going to have. The last movie made it seem like he was going to be the bad guy. In this movie, he's kind of like a mad scientist. He creates the Indoraptor, but at the same time, he's like, okay, well, I want it to have empathy and stuff. But then the capitalist guy is the one that's like, no, we're going to do it now. And he's like, no, you don't know what you're doing. It's a prototype. Don't release it. It's not ready. And he's like, no, we're going to release it anyway. Like, so he's kind of just like the voice of reason for the bad guys. I'm trying to think of what else happened because as right now, I pretty much told you the whole movie. There are a couple scenes in there in between that like aren't really relevant. There's a funny scene where Chris Pratt, that's his name. So Chris Pratt's character, he's like when they first find Blue, he gets shot by the tranquilizers, and they tranquilize Owen because he's about to attack the military guy because they double crossed him, and he gets tranked. There's this funny scene where he's like on the ground, and I forgot the name of the dinosaur. It's like this big Triceratops like dinosaur, and it's just like sitting there like licking him, and he's just on the ground like like he can't move, he's just paralyzed, and he's just getting licked up and down by this dinosaur. And then the dinosaur runs off because lava is starting to like slowly creep up, and he's sitting there like and he has like this scene where he's like just like limp body, like just trying to slowly roll away from the lava. It was just funny. It reminded me of this scene on In Living Color with like they had this teacher that had like this paralyzed arm, and every time he like tried to round the chalkboard, he'd have to like swing his arm up and just like do this and write like this. It was funny. Oh man, it was a lot of good scenes as far as like the way they were shot, and like a lot of like species of dinosaurs. A lot of them that were just introduced in the movie universe that have already been in the book, like the Carnotaurus and stuff like that. This movie had a lot of dinosaurs that we wanted to see for a long time. I wanted to see how they did Allosaurus. Is probably one of the biggest dinosaurs that they never had in the movies before. Carnotaurus was also a good one. So there was a lot of scenes with a lot of different variety of dinosaurs. That was something that this movie had going for it. The music was kind of iffy because like, I mean, there was a lot of callbacks to the old Jurassic Park theme and things like that, but they always like cut it short and stuff. The way it was shot was good. It had a bit of a, early on it had a bit of a suspenseful survival horror like theme to it. Like there was a lot of shots where you didn't see anything and it would give hints that the dinosaur was nearby. Like maybe like it was like one of those. It's pitch black, and then the lightning bolt quickly flashes, and there's a dinosaur behind you, but then it goes black again. So you know the dinosaur is there, but like there's like a flash of it revealing itself. There's a lot of stuff like that. But then later on in the movie, they ignore all that, and it just becomes a Running from Dinosaurs movie. So I would have liked to have seen a lot more like of the early parts of the movie. I would have liked to have seen more of the movie shot like that. The characters were okay. I mean, besides Owen and the little girl and Claire's character, everybody else was a stereotype. The little girl actually played really well. The Chris Pratt, he's always good. Claire, she was kind of funny. I mean, early on in the movie, she was kind of stiff, but she became more of an interesting character as the movie went on. I'm hoping nobody will do something stupid like complain to the actors that played the characters and like start attacking them on social media and stuff. Don't be stupid. Don't do no bullshit like that. It's okay to not like the movie and just that's it. Like if you don't like the movie, that's cool. Just keep it moving. There's gonna be another one. They might fix it. They might. I mean, this isn't like The Last Jedi bad where you can't come back from a lot of the mistakes you've made. You can still overturn a few things in this next movie if those are things you don't like. So there's still potential there. And I'm not saying that the people in The Last Jedi deserved like the hate they got on the internet, because I didn't like the movie, but I liked a lot of the characters in the movie. None of them deserved anything they got. I think that that's something that the internet really needs to work on, and we need to stop taking shit so personally. Just because something's bad don't mean that it's offensive to us. Like just move on. It's a movie. I'm gonna go ahead and if I have to give this movie a score, I'm gonna give it like a 6.5 out of 10, because like I said, there's a lot of fun parts about it, but at the same time, the story aspect was stupid. I hate the idea of the whole weaponizing dinosaurs. They didn't go into depth about the little girl being a clone. They had a lot of stuff in this movie that just didn't make sense. I think I've talked about it enough. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let me know what you guys thought of the movie. Anybody that actually saw the movie, well, I guess if you're watching this, you would have had to have seen it. Otherwise, you probably have no interest in seeing it because this has all kinds of spoilers. Leave comments down below to let me know what you all thought. If you have any opinions about it that I might have missed, make sure you let me know. Make sure you let me know of certain parts of the movie that you liked, and like point out some things like that I didn't like that you might have liked, or if there's something I might have missed. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna go ahead and say. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. I need to make some more videos. Again, about those Jurassic World Evolution gameplay videos. Let me know if you want to see them before I start recording them. That's pretty much it. So if you guys like this, make sure you leave them comments down below. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. There's going to be all kinds of content that I'm working on that I have to try to get up. And I might upload this to my other channel, the DT Productions. I'm going to leave a link in that channel down below also if you want to see the content we have over there with me and my partner, King Draco. So that's all I have to say. I'm signing out. I will see you in the next movie and the next movie review. Not sure what that is, but I'll let you know when it pops up. I'm going to sign out again. Deuces.